You can blame me. I'm the one running slow. It's me, but it's time to go. Let's go. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. And Leo, what's going on, man?
Not much, just another beautiful Friday morning.
It is. So we're going to get into this, but I got to say, all the things going on in the world. We have Republicans and Democrats fighting about who wants the Epstein files more. And we have Ukraine and Russia, with Russia really hitting them hard, right? We have starving children in Gaza, maybe. No, I mean, I know there are some starving, but let me make a point and go off track here a second right here, because that just hit my head. There was a picture shown of some Gazan who was malnourished,
Okay.
who looked malnourished, and it was not a good picture,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's what you need to know. It was some skin hanging on some bone. But apparently, what was like I tell you all the time, the internet's a motherfucker.
Very true.
They found out that this picture that was posted was a real person. It was a real child, but this child had some disease that caused him to look this way.
Gotcha.
And it was not brought on by malnutrition, and that's not the why, but it just looked good for that topic. You see what I mean? And my whole thing is that the Democrats keep doing this in a number of areas. This is just one. That's why I bring it up. Why do you have to lie? If there are real children starving in Gaza, why can't you show them? Why do you have to use this fake picture for your message? It makes you look, that's why nobody trusts you, because you're using fake shit. It's a real discussion, a real topic. I, for one, I've said how I feel about this, and it's becoming more and more, my view is becoming more and more unpopular, I guess, as more people hammer on the Jews, or hammer on Jewish people, in Israel.
They said juice. I was like,
Jews.
Jews. Okay,
Jews.
okay.
They do. They're hammering on the Jewish people or people who support them.
Very
That's
heavily recently.
throughout the world. It's becoming more prominent. And the thing is, they voted for Hamas to be their leadership. They did. And as long as Hamas is still the leadership is the leaders and in control of the Palestinian people, there will be no peace. There might be a ceasefire, there might be an end, to the fighting, but there will be no they will not get what they want. The potential of a Palestinian state can only happen if Hamas is removed. It's the only way it can happen. There's really no other way.
Is this the photo you were referencing?
I believe so.
We'll throw it on the screen
Yeah.
for the people.
And it's fake. Front page, New York Times. No matter what anybody thinks of the New York Times, right? Still number one paper in the country.
Fair.
But yeah, has a disease. Totally unrelated to this. Why use that, man?
Got to get the reaction of the people,
But it makes you look bad.
Yeah,
because it's found out so quickly now. It's, again, they just continue to do this with various things that we've seen in the past, whether it's spray painting racial epitaphs on a building, and it was that group that did it. It wasn't some white supremacist that did it. It was they themselves, and blaming white supremacists and things like that. It's just nuts. If it's really as bad as you say it is, it should be easy to do, easy to put it out there. It should not be complicated. So, but my whole point is that's a big issue. lots of things going on in the country that are serious. A lot of trade deals being done. There was supposed to be a trade deadline. Now it's being pushed back again. So we're going to hear the taco stuff again, I'm sure. And that's okay because we like tacos here.
Oh, yeah, we do. Hell yeah, we do.
Yeah, you got to be on that mic. We got to hear you. Because there was one, when we did play the one audio Wednesday,
Okay.
you couldn't hear you and I. It totally, when they were during the beatdown, when the people were yelling on the video,
Oh, okay.
you could see our mouths moving on the video,
But no audio?
You can hear like that. Like you can't hear us.
Gotcha. Okay.
So just throwing that out there. I didn't tell you beforehand.
Yeah, I'll
We're
look
live,
I'll
but
look
who
into that,
cares?
yeah.
This is just how we roll. Just letting you know, but we want to hear you too. So yes, talk into your microphone as well. But that's my point is, but what else have we talked about? What's on the plate? What's been on the plate most of the week? And I can't believe it lasted pretty much a whole week now, is the Sydney Sweeney ad that we talked about Wednesday with the jeans, right?
Yeah.
And now Joey Swoll. Like, why? Like, our country, dude, our country's fucked up. Joey Swoll.
Just pulling up
Wow.
some stuff for you.
Man. So if you're not into fitness, you probably don't know who he is. You probably got to at least be into a little bit of fitness.
Yeah,
and then I don't know if there's anyone bigger as a fitness influencer than he is. There may be, but he's certainly one of the biggest.
I can agree to that.
Yeah. So was a controversy related to a video that he posted when Hulk Hogan passed away. And he started to take some heat for that video because a lot of people were saying some very nasty things about Hogan. And look, I talked about it myself. I didn't condone any of the racist comments that Hulk Hogan made in his past. But I guarantee you, I was talking to my friend Tony last night, and so hopefully we're going to get him on maybe once a week, every couple of weeks for 10, 15 minutes,
Nice.
like a little bro chat
Oh yeah.
kind of thing. Because if we could have recorded him and I last night, that was good. It was good on the phone. That would have been good podcasting. But he said something, he beat me to it, but he was dead on correct, that if you went into our past and had a camera and could take a video,
that would not be a good thing.
no, not a good thing, on some of the things we've said around friends in private, or even our text. If you got into our phone and got some of our texts, most people are going to have said something inappropriate. Maybe not racist, but something similar.
Yeah.
You know, misogynistic, you know, hatred towards a certain person, group, or whatever that you really don't want other people to know about, that you would hide and are hiding, because we're all flawed human beings, badly flawed human beings.
I do want to say though,
Yes.
Hulk Hogan is a superstar.
Yeah, but
super well known, and
Yes.
even back when he was saying certain comments, he was still super well known, right?
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between a common person kind of doing things and then a superstar on television or whatever it be saying certain things like that. That is two completely different situations. So I get what you're saying.
It's worse for him.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because like we'll go back to like the whole like enabling thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, especially if someone with that much of a following is going to be like saying things like that, you're giving, maybe not to everyone, but you're enabling the ability to do something like that. So I think
Right, but he didn't say it publicly.
Did he not?
No, he didn't say it publicly. This was a recorded conversation that was released.
Gotcha.
He
Okay,
was
okay.
saying things about his daughter, about her daughter's, well, now ex-boyfriend, but she had a black boyfriend,
Gotcha.
and he wasn't happy about it.
Gotcha.
That's what he said. So it wasn't public, but when it became public, obviously that's not a good thing
good
for
thing.
him.
Yeah,
And he
definitely.
paid a price for that. He took a hit.
Oh yeah.
He took a hit for that. I'm just saying that everybody throwing stones like they're perfect, and that just is bullshit.
That's true.
That's just bullshit.
That
And I wasn't even comparing that to Joey Swoll, but we can do that as well because I have a take on that. But that was the thing. He was just doing a tribute to, like, this person influenced me. I followed him, you know, the tearing of the shirt, watching wrestling. The very first, it was probably the WWF when I went. They weren't even the WWE yet. They were still the WWF.
Okay.
And he wrestled against the King somebody in Toledo, Ohio, at the sports arena. I was probably 18 to 20, maybe.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
Somewhere in that age group when I saw Hulk Hogan in person, you know, and he's down at the middle of the match, you know, he looks like he's out, and then you get the hand raise, and then the shaking, and then he steps up with his knee, and then he goes, it just like kills the other guy, right? That was the whole shtick. And it was great. Dude, it was great. And as much as it is choreographed, what I don't think when people would trash it for being fake, well, of course. But what is real is the jumping off of a rope as a grown-ass man and landing, and sometimes you hit wrong.
Yeah. There's been some horrible accidents, like injuries throughout the
Dwayne
wrestling.
Johnson basically, I think he broke his femur in a match and kept going.
Yeah. Do you know who
And
McFarley is?
What's that? Yeah.
Oh my, the stuff he went through.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
These guys, and wrestling sometimes a couple hundred times a year.
Yeah.
I mean, their schedules.
And constantly traveling on top of that as well.
To say that they're not athletes,
No,
it may
that's
not
stupid.
be an athletic competition, but they're athletes.
They're 100%.
They're 100% athletes.
I agree.
And most of them had size. Yes, most of them were on steroids. The fuck you want to see? Of course you want to see him on steroids. I want to see him on steroids. I don't want to fucking see a natty Hulk Hogan, you know?
It wouldn't have hit the same.
No,
It definitely would not have hit the
please.
same.
Or Bret the Hitman Hart. Yeah, I don't want to. Can you imagine a little 180-pound Bret the Hitman Hart?
I can't. I really can't.
Now, there were some guys that were smaller, that were fit.
For sure.
That were
but that wasn't
monsters,
like
but
the
still.
ideal look for a wrestler.
No.
No.
Not at all. But that it was just inspiring, working out. And then the connection to the Rocky movie, too, that was awesome. He had his own hit show. He was more than a wrestling icon. He was an icon. And you and I feel pretty much the same about him. But my point is, there's a whole lot of people that hate on him. And maybe some of the people that were hating on him at his death, they brought up the racial thing, but that had been in the past where they kind of forgot about it. The new reason to hate him, and they would just throw that in there now, the racial slurs and comments, is the fact that he supported President Trump.
Recently, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
That was
but because obviously there's a connection there because he made racial comments and he supported Trump. Trump is Hitler. He's a Nazi. And everybody that supports Trump is white supremacist. So it's a perfect fit. So they hate him. So you're going to bring that up when he dies. That he's an awful person because he's this white supremacist. And he said this stuff about his daughter's black boyfriend. That's with it. And if you say something positive about Hulk Hogan, then you too are a white supremacist. Just like if you still support Trump, you're now a pedophile. That's everybody. That's the whole thing. So that's the first heat that he got. And I think I didn't get any heat, but I think how I handled it and when I talked about it was he should have said something similar when people brought it up. You know, this is something that was a part of my youth, and the words that he said in private I find abhorred, but I didn't I didn't know that until later.
Yeah.
And I still find them abhorrent, but I still had this experience. My experience was true when I was a kid. You can't take that away from me. That was my experience. I'm not going to hate on my experience. And you can't always look to these people. And he could have used this for his whole influencer role model thing of you can't always use individuals and put them on a pedestal because they have flaws. You know, admiring somebody and being inspired to lift and doing that kind of stuff is one thing, but for how to live your life is totally something different. Totally something different. There's not many people, and there's only one that is perfect enough for us to follow, and we're not worthy, and that's Jesus, our Lord and Savior. So that's it. That makes it real simple in keeping it simple. And he could have said something like that. But the whole point is he took a lot of heat. He's super big as an influencer. TikTok, he had 8 million. Instagram, he had 5.
That's a lot.
I told you it was a lot, right? It was a lot.
That's a lot more than
It was a lot.
That's a lot more than I expected to.
Mm-hmm. And what's kind of odd is he would call out, and I didn't always agree with him. He would call out poor gym behavior.
Yeah.
Or people that were maybe taking a picture or a video of somebody and posting it and not being nice. Like I got everybody mad at me on TikTok once, and they kept posting at Joey Swoll with their comments.
Okay.
Because they wanted Joey Swoll to comment on my post.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and I was like begging. I'm like, please get Joey Swoll to comment on my post because my account will skyrocket. Please do that. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Let Joey Swoll yell at me. Let's see how that goes. And it was basically a picture or a video that I posted. And what the people didn't realize is I actually had permission of the person. I just didn't put that in there in the wording and the content, but I actually had permission to film that person. They just didn't know. And unless you read through the thread where I said it,
Gotcha.
right? And that was before you could amend what you say when you post a TikTok. Now you can amend that stuff. You can go back and edit it, and change a word. If you post something, you're like, fuck, I misspelled that word. You can go back and fix it.
Gotcha.
So the video was simply a friend of mine on a treadmill demonstrating what I thought was like, I wanted people to stop doing. Stop doing this on a treadmill. Stop lifting the treadmill up to the highest amount, hanging on and leaning backwards because you're doing nothing. It's the same as it's flat, and you might as well just leave it flat. Then you'll be good. You'll be good. You're not burning that much more by putting it on an incline, maybe a little bit, but certainly not at that level, and especially if you're leaning back. What the machine says is just not accurate anyways.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I took some heat from that because, how dare you post a picture and slam on this person? And like, look, I'm just doing a demonstration of telling people what not to do and so they don't look silly on the treadmill at the gym.
Yeah.
So other people aren't laughing. I'm just trying to help out here. But yeah, everybody at Joey swolled me, and he never showed up, sadly, for me. Because to me, I didn't care. Like, I got 50,000, 100,000. I got a lot of views on that video. It was a big, because they were mad.
Everyone was so mad.
They were mad. Like, why do you care what somebody else does? I don't. I'm just posting things of what to do, what not to do. You have to listen to me. That's it. But that was that was my experience with it, anyways. Um, so he does all this gym positivity stuff. This is my whole point, and trying to be encouraging, that kind of thing. Well, he was actually criticized, apparently, because he maybe some of his fan base harassed women. He dismissed women's experiences with gym harassment, unverified claims of sending unsolicited explicit photos surfaced, but there was no evidence, there was no photos. But he was accused of misogyny. Of all people to be accused of misogyny when he's going to bat for women, heavy women, unfit people of all types.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but that's how people are. So anyways, what triggered this whole thing with Joey Swoll was him posting about Hulk Hogan, like I said, on the 24th. And now we're at August 1st. Welcome to August, people.
I just now realized that, huh?
August 1st, and yesterday they played the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. The Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Chargers kicked off the season. I only watched the first quarter, and the Chargers, second string guys mostly. I don't know how many first string guys were really out there, but in the prime positions, definitely not. But they look pretty good. Their backups look pretty solid. The first play for the Lions was fumbling the football on the kickoff.
Nice. Gotta love that.
And that was what we used to expect of the Lions
Like 20 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago.
I do forget that the Lions actually just recently got.
Well, 3 years
quote,
ago,
unquote, good.
they turned the season around.
Yeah.
The first half of the season sucked. Second half was good, but they just missed the playoffs. Then 2 years ago,
They
they got the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then last year, making it to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And doing so when they had a lot of players injured, and they kept winning there. Everybody for about the last third of the season were kind of writing them off because of the injuries, but they still kept winning anyways.
Yeah.
Because their offense reminded me of the greatest show on turf, which was your St. Louis Rams, when the Rams were in St. Louis.
Gotcha.
And used to put up crazy offensive numbers like that. But yeah, football season started. And I don't want football season to start. And I love football. None of you love football more than me. You don't. I promise you fucking don't. I love football. But I'm old, and I just don't want to be in the part of the year where we're starting football. Because I'm old, it just means the year's going so fast. And everything Dawn and I did at the beginning of the year, all the bowl games we went to, the games here in Arizona, in fact, the Rams came here for a game in the playoffs because they couldn't play in their home stadium because of the fires. We went to that game with them playing the Vikings. Yeah, we love football so much. We went and saw teams in person that are not our favorite teams. It's just because we love football.
Yeah.
That's how much we love football. But also I love life, and I know my life is going so fast, man. It's like I feel like I'm on a bullet train, man. I just want it to slow down. Slow down. I don't want to slow down. I want to keep going 100 miles an hour. Yeah. I just want everything else to slow down. I haven't been able to do that yet. It's a weird combination, I know. Just sharing with y'all. So, yeah, we're in August.
Yeah.
Crazy. So he put an old clip of himself up, dressed as Hogan, and it got 7.9 million views before it was taken down. He said that Hogan inspired his bodybuilding journey and had personally sent him the ring gear. He aimed to celebrate Hogan's wrestling legacy and impact by posting the video.
Oh, Hogan sent him the uniform? Is that what you just said?
That's apparently, yeah,
Oh,
what
wow.
he wore in
That
the
I
video
that I
that he
did not know.
posted. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. I just found that out too. The tribute sparked immediate criticism due to Hogan's controversial past, the 2007 use of racial slurs about the black boyfriend, revealed during a 2016 lawsuit against Gawker Media, which he did win. Gawker lost that lawsuit and pulled it up. Hogan apologized, but the WWE terminated his contract. Mattel halted his merchandise production. I mean, it was a big thing. I mean, Hogan dolls still sold, right?
Yeah.
Critics accused Swoll of ignoring Hogan's racism, labeling the post tone deaf. You know, again, if you go into people's past, 15, 20 years, I mean, it's not for you because, you know, you're 5. Okay.
I actually turned
We
27
forgive,
in a month.
all right, we forgive you for
For saying
12,
whatever I was saying when I was 12.
when
Yeah.
he was 12. Yeah, you know. But I know for me that I share all the time about the dumb shit I've done as an adult related to the being an alcoholic and addict that I take full responsibility for. I don't blame the addiction to alcoholism at all. It was me because I was the one that did it. I was the one responsible. And I'm still responsible today. Now I do my dumb shit sober, and I'm still responsible. But either way, there's never an excuse. I'm just saying there's things in our past.
Yeah. Everyone has.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Everyone does. And if you want to look, I mean, I don't have enough followers to get canceled. So you can't cancel me. It's like, if you left, who would know? It's not a thing. But I just bought this because I thought it was cool. And I liked for a moment when Hulk Hogan was a part of the NWO and was a bad guy for a minute. Because for most of his career, Hogan wasn't a bad guy. I also got this awesome Caitlin Clark, too. I should get the Sophie Cunningham to put right next to her since Sophie Cunningham's her bodyguard now.
I do like that one.
So I just got those. I brought those. We're going to put those back here somewhere. Maybe take them out of the box. I take my stuff out of the box.
I do as well.
Because I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking to myself, Troy, just take it out of the box. Don't even think about it. You're not going to sell this shit.
Yeah. No, I feel
You
like
only need it if you're collecting it to sell.
exactly. I feel like the only reason you shouldn't leave, because I've never owned a Funko Pop myself, but I feel like the only reason you should keep it in a box is if you can't tell what the Funko Pop is. But if you can't tell what the Funko Pop is, then
Is it really a good Funko Pop?
That's exactly my point.
I feel the same way about license plates. If you have a personalized plate and I can't figure it out in 3 seconds,
Gotcha.
your plate sucks. Uh-huh. It does. You
I
should be able to figure it out. You
I
should
will
be able
have
to
to
figure
disagree
it out.
with that one because I like.
Okay, but how long should you be given?
I like privacy and stuff like that. So I like the idea of having some sort of like license plate number that no one will understand except me. So
Yeah, but if it's one I don't understand,
Mhm.
is it just numbers or is it letters?
No, both. I like the combination of both.
Then
I
if
guess it depends. It
okay,
depends. It
let's
depends.
call it a combination of both.
Mhm.
If it looks like that, the only one that's going to know it's a personalized plate is you, and you wasted your money.
Yeah.
Because it's just a random set of numbers. If I'm looking at it just seeing a random set of numbers,
But it's
how's that different than any other license plate?
But it's to me, the license plate's personalized to me, not to others. I don't care what.
No,
other
I
people
get
think
that,
about.
but I'm just saying you're spending a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe get a tattoo instead and have it with you. Like, I don't know. That seems like less money. The tattoo's a one-time deal. No, I'm just saying because license plates are expensive here in Arizona, dude.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh.
actually, you're not
Oh,
wrong.
get a new car. Get a new car.
Yeah, you're not
And
wrong.
do that. It's a couple grand for 2 years or $1,000 for a year. It's a lot.
I don't think it's that much. I'll be honest.
Oh, ours are.
But you drive a Corvette
and a Range Rover.
Exactly.
And I'm just saying. Well, even her truck, because it was a new truck, she paid a lot for that. I'm just saying, it's a lot in Arizona.
It's a few $100 for the common people.
So he gets this backlash. Back to Joey Swoll. And apparently then this was a few days after. We started out the 24th. We're now at the 28th. He did a TikTok live stream and addressed the criticism. He defended the tribute, arguing that a person's mistakes shouldn't erase their positive contributions, which I actually agree with that part. Stating just because a person made some mistakes in their life doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be recognized for the positive things they've done as well. He also noted others, including black and minority athletes, that had posted tributes to Hogan without similar backlash. But then he made another mistake in the live stream. And people don't understand how easy it is that if you're talking all the time, doing videos, doing radio, how easy it is to mess up and not have any mental problems. Okay, it doesn't mean you need to go the way of Joe Biden. Not the case. Sometimes people will use the wrong year, the wrong name, just things you just don't realize how hard it is unless you're immersed in it like I am. And I've caught myself, a handful of times having that happen. So what did he say? This was, let's see. In the live stream, he used the term colored when referring to black and minority athletes and the people that are black and minority that post about Hogan as well. The term widely considered outdated and offensive. They tried to make black people outdated and offensive at one point. But saying black people, referring to people as black people and not African American.
Oh,
they really wanted to push the African American.
I do remember that a few years back.
But now pretty much what can you use that's quote unquote acceptable return, terms is black people and African American. Now, I guess he said colored people. Some people are saying that you can say people of color to make it more broad.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
People of color sounds perfectly fine to me.
Okay. I don't like to use that. I would never use that term. I just don't. I don't like colored people, and I don't like people of color. That's just me personally. Mm-hmm. That would think about it it doesn't sound good. You know?
No,
why not just say minority groups?
Because I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's like a me thing, but because minorities are no longer just people of color,
right?
So that no longer kind of applies.
I totally agree with you, and I caught that when I said that, and I seen you pause. What's so interesting about that? And I'm gonna say it. You don't have to. Mm-hmm. Other groups have co-opted minority groups.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can all assume whatever groups you want that have co-opted that and made themselves. And everybody now, it's a part of being, because of the minority groups, that's not even enough anymore. You got to be a part of a sub minority group.
Yeah, you're not even
okay. For you to be truly oppressed.
Yeah.
You're truly oppressed. You can't be a person of color. You can't be a black person. You can't be a Mexican. That can't be a thing.
Yeah.
You have to be a person of color who's gay or binary or I don't know. You have to be.
You got to have
three or four other things included, and then you're oppressed. You're this oppressed person. We should just feel for you, and everybody should cater to you and shut the fuck up. So, but I wouldn't say colored people. I wouldn't say people of color either. Just me personally. I just wouldn't say it. I can see maybe in an instance the people of color, but he was basically referring to black people. So just say black people. or say African
He
Americans.
was trying to be too like safe. He was trying to be too. He was being too cautious, and that's what like.
But that's the whole point of this whole episode of this stuff, and what we're getting away from. People are tired of. It's one thing if you say a word like Hogan did. Okay, he said that word with malice.
Yes, he did.
Right?
Yeah.
We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
He used the N-word with malice. But that word can never be used by white people, although the younger generation does. They say it to each other. It annoys people. Gen X, it makes our skin crawl when white people do that. And young girls in their 20 to 25 and young guys saying it, like, you sound like trash. You sound like poor white fucking trash when you say that. But they do. But they're not saying, but I will give them this. They're not saying it with malice most of the time. They're saying it in reference to their friend the same way that I use the word bro.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Mexican people say it, right?
It's actually
to each other.
It's actually very common, especially in Arizona. It's a very, very, very common thing.
That's my point. I'm not saying you do personally. If you do, that's for you to decide. It's like, I'm not going to put you on the spot like that. But if you did use it, again, you wouldn't be using it with malice.
No.
Let me use another word. Queer. Like we couldn't say queer for a while. And then queer people started using queer. And then there was a show, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. And I actually liked that show.
Queer Eye for
I
the
used to
Straight
watch
Guy.
that show, dude. I totally admit that this
never
big
heard of that in my
motorcycle, bad dude, outlaw, bodybuilder, steroid taking dude watched Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Because guys generally, a lot of guys dress for shit. I'm just gonna say it like it is. They dress for shit, and they would like do a makeover. These queer guys would do a makeover, and they all actually had like specialties. Like one had a specialty with clothes, one had a specialty with food.
Okay.
So like they're remaking themselves for their girlfriend, and their girlfriend, oh my God, you got him out of those stupid cargo shorts and into real human clothes. And he would fix a meal for his woman, and they would show him how to fix the meal. Just grown up stuff.
Oh,
but
wow.
that's what it was big, dude.
Yeah, they have.
They've all gone
Germany.
They all did
Brazil.
bigger stuff.
Oh my God.
They did some decent stuff before that, and then when they did the show, and even after that, I mean, they're well known, mostly. Kind of.
I honestly never heard of this.
Yeah.
But it looks like they have
because you know what I say, and I'll just say it because I'm not afraid to. I am the best non-gay guy shopper that I know. And everybody laughs, whether they want to or not, when I say that. And I say it to the clerk when I'm shopping. they when they compliment me.
Oh,
you know,
like your outfit and stuff like
that.
that.
Yeah, or I'm buying something for Dawn, and she's even there, and they go, oh, man, you picked out a really... And Dawn's like, I didn't pick it out, he did. And then I tell him, I'm the best non-gay guy shopper. I just am. I don't know.
Hey, I can respect that. I can respect that.
And maybe the word fag a little bit.
That one I feel like still kind of can get a little bit offensive depending
but that's
on
what I'm saying.
In,
it can be said, that's my point about it. It can be said with malice, and it's all in your tone and how you're saying it and the context you're saying it in. That you're saying it as an insult, right? Or I've literally heard gay friends say it to each other.
I'm pretty sure that was like
But it's not one that you're hearing a lot now. But
correct.
7-8 years ago,
it was used a lot.
It was being used. But again, it was okay if it wasn't used in malice. It wasn't quite put in the same category as the N word.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
oh,
But
you
it had
can
the
never
same
say
kind of like
similar.
yeah. No, I get
Yep.
you. I get
Is
you.
that am I okay right
Yeah,
now?
I hear you. No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
And you know how many people won't talk about this way?
A lot of
A
people.
lot of people
A lot
because
of
they
people.
don't want to take the risk in saying something wrong. And I don't fucking care
That's I mean
about
that's
what other people
what other
like that.
people think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I think it has to be that this whole problem is that we haven't talked about this stuff and that we allowed these words and this takeover, this woke shit where it's where you couldn't shame fat people anymore. But who could you shame? You know what's in style to shame now?
What's that?
Thin and fit people.
I'm sorry. One more time. Sorry.
Thin and fit people.
Thin and fit people. Oh, like
People
if you're
who
like
are
overly
fit.
Gotcha.
If you're just fit, I'm not even talking about being a bodybuilder, but if you have a good body, you know, you're in shape, you're not overweight,
Mhm.
it's okay to trash on them. They do. That's a lot,
Really?
man. Oh, dude, I get it all the time.
Really?
It's okay to do because you can't get shit for doing that. People just do it with impunity now. It's been in papers even here recently, being called out. Being fit is considered being white now. Yeah, I know, dude. Look it up.
What?
New York Times.
What?
Fit and whiteness is a thing. Being connected. A MAGA bod. They're even referring to it now. If for especially more for men probably than women. And because MAGA men like attractive women. They do. I'm not saying Democrats don't like attractive women, but we're not the same. For sure. But it is okay to do that. And just like people will attack me for not being bigger. Oh, you're taking all this stuff and, you know, you're not, shouldn't you be bigger? And yeah, so that's all okay to do.
But you said so you're
Fit.
saying fit as in not
F-I-T.
not like super skinny though, right? You're talking about like muscle definition and stuff like that.
No, I'm just talking about being fit, but anything. And
Because
if you're in the workout area, natural, think of a natty person being fit like that. Because there's still more natties.
That's not skinny to me though. I'm talking about like if you looked at me, I'm talking
What they
about
talk
like
about,
that's
well,
like
but
skinny.
they mentioned skinny people, and they were particularly talking about women. There were 2 New York Times journalists that just wrote about this, so you'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm actually really.
But I'm
curious
saying,
about
yeah,
that.
but it's okay to attack them now. That's so. Getting back to Joey, Joey used this word that he really messed up his apology.
That's where he messed up.
Well, this wasn't the apology yet, right? No, this was just he messed it up, defended it. He messed up more than once.
Yes.
He first messed up his response, which should have just been what I said.
Yeah.
It should have just been, it was part of my youth. I wasn't, but then to say, oh, I did all this research now. This is the video, right?
This one's
let's
the
play
apology. The first one I cannot find for some reason. It seems
Okay,
like
but
it's
let's
been
do
taken
the
down.
apology because the apology I think is horrible.
I actually don't. I don't even think I saw the entire apology. I kind of just turned it off. I was like, yeah. Let's see.
I don't know how long it is.
A minute and 50 seconds.
Let's
I
play the
believe.
whole thing.
Perfect. Let me make sure audio. Cool. All right.
I owe my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology. A few days ago, I reposted an old video of me in the gym wearing a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume on the day that he passed. Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that. Instead of listening and understanding like I should have, I became defensive and said that I was posting to celebrate the wrestling icon, the person that so many of us looked up to as kids that we grew up with, that made us tear our shirts and take our vitamins and say our prayers. I didn't know to the extent of all the horrible things that he had done. Since last night, I have done a lot of research, talked to a few people, and learned all of the horrible, horrible things that that man has done, which is way more than just making a mistake and being human. So because of that, I have taken the videos down, and I apologize to anybody that I offended. I am sorry. Also, during last night's live stream, I used the word colored instead of saying person of color, which is a very outdated, very offensive term. A few moments later, somebody educated me and told me that it wasn't okay to use that, which I immediately apologized to everyone and said I would never do that again. So once again, to anybody that I offended, I am sorry. You know, my whole page, my whole brand is based on holding people accountable and doing better. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't hold myself to the same standards. I am human, I am still growing, I am still learning, and I promise all of you, I will do better. I have nothing but love and kindness in my heart. I will continue to try to make the world a better place. And once again, to everybody, I apologize. I owe my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology. A few days ago, I
Even
reposted.
if you want to start before this, what are your thoughts?
I think the ignorance is the biggest thing for me. Because when that first original video that he's referring to, he sounded very ignorant. He sounded like he didn't care at all. Like maybe he didn't know, which is fine with me. I'm completely fine. It's just it's hard to believe that you didn't know if you're such a big fan of Hulk Hogan.
Right.
So to me, when I was watching the video, it felt almost scripted in a way, kind of, but very poorly done. Like he said, the way he and I might be remembering this incorrectly because I really didn't spend too much time on it. I really didn't care. But when I was watching that initial video of him saying, "Oh, well, I don't care what you guys are saying or what he did or blah 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 blah," whatever he said in that video, it just came off ignorant, super ignorant. And I can apologize ignorance. You know, I can be like, okay, maybe he truly did not know,
Right.
and that's okay with me. But to be such a big fan and to do this tribute and this and that, you're gonna tell me you don't know Hulk Hogan's history, which I get. Maybe you didn't, and I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But it was weird. And then again.
So do you think he shouldn't have done the tribute?
No, I mean the tribute. I think people are because I agree with the idea that you can celebrate someone as an icon, right? Because they weren't celebrating because Hulk Hogan is an image, the WWE image, the wrestling image. Who Hulk Hogan? I don't even know who Hulk Hogan's. Is that his real name?
No.
So whoever Hulk Hogan's
His name is Terry.
whoever Terry is as a person is completely different to who
He
Hulk
doesn't
Hogan.
look like a Terry.
I thought you were lying when you first said it. I'm not gonna Terry sounds like a weird name.
I wouldn't make that up.
But yeah, I think it's more of the fact that like, because I get that. I've grown up watching people idolizing people that turned out to be shitty fucking people, but you can separate an artist from the art, right? You can enjoy the art, but
Michael Jackson.
So like there's a bunch of things that like I was completely fine with it, the Hulk Hogan thing or whatever, and I knew previous to this, but like it was such a common thing in the wrestling world, like if we're gonna be real, like it like especially like in America and stuff like that, like wrestling and then like the wrestlers, it's a weird kind of relationship, right? Because people really fell in love with these people, like the superstars and stuff like that. So like I don't have any problems with the tribute itself. I actually kind of fucked with it, like because I grew up watching wrestling, right? Like so I was like, yeah, that's dope. My biggest issue was the way he handled responding to it.
Yep.
Correct. I have zero issues with the whole. I think people are being super fucking stupid about.
You're being
the whole,
super sensitive.
very
about
sensitive.
That. Like, come on, the dude died,
bro. Like, come on. Like, I get it. Trust me, I 100% get it. I understand where you guys are coming from. But if you didn't grow up watching wrestling, I feel like that's the difference, right? If you didn't grow up watching wrestling, you're gonna get upset. If you grew up watching wrestling, I think a majority of those people are gonna be like, "Cool, Hulk Hogan, hell yeah, brother." So yeah. That's honestly my take on it.
So let me throw this out there.
Go for it.
See if it's fair.
Yeah.
A bigger icon. as big as you could possibly get. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
I believe, I don't want to say anything wrong, but I believe he was a little bit of what they would call a womanizer.
I believe
right?
I read something.
Let's
about
just
that.
say, how about if I put it this way? It's pretty known that he wasn't faithful. I'm not saying he didn't love his wife. You know, people don't understand.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
You can love someone and
You'd
do
still
stupid
do
things. 100%.
yes,
I agree.
you could still do that.
Yep.
But it's not talked about very often. And I think one of the reasons that the FBI files were suppressed for so long related to him is because of that kind of stuff, because they didn't want it to be a stain on his legacy of the greatness that he did and the great things he did and the change that he brought about. And I get that. I understand that, but I think that is why that hasn't happened.
I can see that.
And because we know that the FBI, I don't trust the FBI or didn't trust the FBI. So they would use that negatively against him. So I would think that the files would be biased somewhat, steered towards negativity and putting him in that light, right? Because my whole point in bringing that up as a comparison is just simply to show that somebody not upholding certain moral values and failing at having a dent in their character. And I have many character defects, but we'll call that what we call that in addiction. We call them character defects.
Okay.
That was a character defect, and you work on them.
100%.
And you try not to repeat them, but sometimes we do. And progress sometimes is just not repeating them as often, doing it less.
It looks slightly
but
different
it's still,
for everyone.
Yeah, it's absolutely different for everyone. But in no way, at least to me, does any of that, well, he's just garbage now. He's just trash now because he wasn't faithful to his wife. And how can you trust somebody that wasn't faithful to his wife? The words that he spoke to America and the world were powerful and changing, and nothing personally like that we're referring to changes that for me.
I just thought of a question I'd like to ask
go
you.
ahead.
So where do you draw the line from that? Like what how much, like, how do I ask this? How much power or influence does someone have to be able to like where those kind of things don't no longer matter, I guess, where you can kind of get away with it, quote unquote? Like, because I'm like thinking about it, right? And because a lot of these people in very high places are not very good people. So like where do we draw that line?
Yeah. That is hard. It is.
I'm like trying to think. I don't even have an answer for that.
I don't know where I would draw the line. And we can use President Trump talking about that. People can say that. Like, he is not my pastor. He's not. And he considers himself to be a Christian now. And I don't have any evidence otherwise. And it's not my place to determine that for him. I don't look to him for guidance in my spiritual life.
Yeah.
I don't. There's other people for that. That's not him. He's flawed like everyone else, but what I look at it more pragmatically, that I just look at what I wanted and what the result and what he said he would do, and then what's getting done. and I don't expect 100% of everything to get done.
Yeah, I mean,
But to me, he's getting more done that he told us that he would get done than anybody else that's ever done this over my lifetime. Now, maybe going back prior to my lifetime and evaluating presidents and leaders that followed through, that would be different. But at least in my lived time, nobody has done that like him. And so that's why a lot of that bullshit, it just doesn't matter to me.
See,
I don't get wrapped up in that.
I
have to keep it separate.
So I guess that's why, like, where my kind of question stems is, like, at what point are we, like, it's gonna sound fucking crazy, but
No, go ahead.
like when do we just turn the cheek and just be like, I mean, he's doing good, and, like, again, like, let's say the Epstein allegations are like real, and this, and, like, I know if I already asked you and you said that you wouldn't, like, blah blah blah. Let's say Trump is putting America in like, let's say he's put America in the
that is
number
definitely
one
a
spot.
line. That's definitely a line. Not being accused, but actually evidence of being a pedophile. That's definitely a line that
No, I agree with
even
you.
the most hardcore supporters would be like, we can't do that.
No, I agree with that.
No matter how good. We could have the perfect, we could have a booming economy and everything else, because we'll basically say, you know what, JD or someone else
Can just follow
can
the structure
continue
of it.
the role that he's set.
Yeah.
And I'll appreciate what he did, but that would be the biggest stain, because you and I both put that up there with murder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, we both.
Yeah. So I'm with that. I'm with that too. But again, they have lied about him so many times, over and over and over again, and we kept being presented, this is going to be the thing to take him down. This would be, and again, it would also be different. The Democrats, if they weren't opposed to everything, then, and if they had shown enough care when Biden was president about two things. If they would have shown that they cared about the Epstein files then, and that, hey, why we don't care, Democrats, Republicans, why aren't more people being prosecuted over this? You had Epstein in, like, I think it was 2019, and then his subsequent suicide. And then after that, during the Biden administration, the Ghislaine Maxwell, the woman.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the only people that have been prosecuted. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Why we wanted people prosecuted then. Conservatives did. Democrats weren't saying anything about it. And it had nothing to do with Trump. It was just it was just him, and somebody else has to be involved in this.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be. That we can all agree in. Somebody else is involved. They're like, you really can't make a case against one other person, not one. That just is not believable.
Yeah.
Right? And then the second thing for the Democrats is, you don't care about kids. You've heard me. You've been with me over a year now. You know how staunch I am about the border, and you get my position, and
I understand why you have the views that you have.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know and believe, I think you believe, that I really care, and part of it, of not wanting people to come across the border, is protection from terrorists, and just because if they slip in with everybody else, and we just want people to do it the right way. But also I've expressed that how abhorrent it is, how I just can't fathom as a mother or a father allowing my 12 or 13-year-old girl to go unaccompanied, or to go with an adult I barely know, it would be one thing if we were already at the border
Mhm.
and I'm letting my daughter go. I still probably, it's not a good idea. But to travel 1,000 miles with these caravans and to be raped. And it was so bad, them being raped, and then some being taken and trafficked and brought across by the cartels. But it was so bad, just the raping, that they would give these girls, the mothers would give these girls basically the abortion pill. You know you're sending your kid into that trauma. Now, I get that you think that there's some better life across the border. But that trauma is for life, man. Why? It's sad and it hurts that any woman ever has to go through that, ever being raped in any situation. But to knowingly put them in a position where it increases the chances and makes it almost a 50-50 deal, that's insane, man. Or we've still heard it recently. We were still hearing it. I don't know if I've heard it so much this year, if it's happened. But it wouldn't surprise me that even under Trump and that the numbers have dropped so much that it's still happened. But where they would bring a truckload in the back of a semi, and then the back of that semi was found with 50 or 60 people in it dead. They leave them to die in the heat and starvation and feces and everything. Just the way they treated people. Like, you can't tell me you're fucking humane and that you give a shit about people when you entice them to come across and take the chances to take, and you make this prize over here look so attractive, and you're trying to bring people, and knowing that this is what's happening to some people. That is horrible, man.
The one thing you got to really understand is that the life in Mexico really isn't that nice. It's a lot more of a struggle than I believe that you realize.
No, well, I think Mexico is better than, Haiti or, Honduras and some of the other ones.
Nowadays for sure, but like 10, 20 years ago, like that, Mexico was not like a good place to be living in,
I don't disagree.
So I think the risk of stuff like that was worth it to people.
It may be to them, but I can't comprehend
I get that.
it.
I get that.
And I wouldn't want to encourage it. And I want people, I want, you know what I want? I want Mexico to be great again.
Hell yeah.
I want Mexico to be great again. I mean, I don't know. I do, honestly. I seriously do.
No, Mexico's actually blooming right now, so it's going to be in a good place in a few years from now.
To me, Mexico has more potential and is a way better partner for the United States than fucking Canada.
I'd agree.
Fuck Canada.
I'd agree.
You got your 35 million people or whatever the fuck you got. Your football looks stupid with your 110-yard field. You know, they've already started playing.
I didn't even know they had. I didn't even know they had
Canadian Football League. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like it's basically like San Francisco year round. It's like your summer sucks. Your summer sucks. If your summer is 70 degrees, your summer sucks ass. You know what I'm saying? And then now they're doing it again this year where they're having those fires and fucking up the environment again. And I don't know. I'm just not. I guess it's just from social media. I have this impact where when it comes to Canada, that their arrogance, it's like the world doesn't follow you. The world doesn't care about you, Canada. They really, really don't. They're trying to become important.
Didn't Canada and Mexico just agree on like a railroad system that's going to exclude a lot of like the transportation through, or the exportation and importation of goods through America?
Well, I didn't really understand that. I know what you're talking
know what
about,
I'm
the
talking
corridor.
Right? Yeah, so they're basically just building something to
but
remove
is that why should the United States be in the middle of that? Why shouldn't goods go directly there as you would with any other country?
Because the U.S. gets a portion of it when you're going through the U.S. to get to Canada, or from Canada to Mexico. U.S. gets a portion of that.
Yeah, but if you want to avoid that, I don't have a problem with that. You're doing you know what? You're doing what's best for your country.
100%.
You should be doing, if you're Canadian and you're a Canadian leader,
Mhm.
you should be trying to put Canada first.
Yeah.
If you're Mexico, you should try to be putting Mexico first.
I agree.
And then we all understand the game then, that the priority is to our own country,
Yep.
but we want to make a deal that's going to work for both people and that both sides are going to find acceptable
Beneficial in one way or another, yeah.
because we do need each other. But again,
100%.
I think we need Mexico way more than we need Canada.
I could probably agree to that.
And Canada is our second largest trading partner. People have said, some former state senator posted yesterday about this Canada situation, and with the Palestinian, they're going to recognize Palestine as a state,
A Canadian state?
not a Canadian state.
Oh, just the state in general.
yeah,
Gotcha.
that they're because that's what they want.
Yeah.
And Trump has been using tariffs
Mhm.
to negotiate peace treaties, people stopping, and he's also using them for other things.
Gotcha.
And so he told Canada, you're making a mistake here. Okay, if you do this, I'm going to use tariffs against you for that. He's using the tariffs and our economy as a weapon, like be our friend. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
But this woman said, oh, Canada's our largest trade partner. And I immediately scrunched like this. And I was actually surprised they were number 2.
2? Really?
Yeah. But I looked it up.
Who's number 1?
Very-
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Not by a lot, but by a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, why didn't you fact check that before you said that? You were a former state senator. Why not do that before you do that? That's what happens to me. I don't always know the right answer.
Yeah. I mean,
But what I've become very good at over 57 fucking years is knowing when I'm getting the wrong answer. I know I'm getting the wrong answer. So I don't know how we got to fucking Mexico from Joey Swoll, but we did.
we were talking about the boundaries.
The boundaries.
The boundaries on the good someone does compared to the
Yeah.
bad someone does.
Yeah. This is going to be, I hate to say this. This is going to be terrible to say. But it's like, Troy, that's the 4th time you said like in the last minute. Stop it. It's, you know it when you see it. I hate when people say that. But I kind of feel like that
But yeah. I
when it comes to this.
It's such a
Does it make
stupid thing to say out loud because, like, what the fuck do you mean by that? But when you're actually in the position to see,
and we all have a
then,
different one.
Yep.
But that would definitely be one. Some people would be willing to abandon when there's allegations. And depending on what we are privy to with those allegations, what evidence beforehand matters.
Yeah.
Do we always wait until the final verdict?
No.
No.
We do not.
As a country, we suck at that. You are not innocent until proven guilty. We think you're guilty. You got to prove yourself innocent. Whether we like it or not.
You're not wrong.
That may not be the law, but that
But
is
that's how it works.
works in public.
Yeah.
It does work
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
You're not wrong.
right? So with Joey Swoll, again, most of the population has no fucking clue, even though he has that many followers, which is absolutely crazy that he does.
I did not know he had that many followers. Like, I've seen his videos around all the time, but I didn't.
I
know
haven't
he was that
seen any
popular.
lately.
Not,
I really
not
haven't.
recently, but I know.
And
like,
I
a few
didn't.
months ago,
I
he was
didn't follow
really-
him. I didn't.
I don't either. Yeah, I don't either.
But sometimes it would come up, and
Yeah,
I was.
yeah.
But I knew who he was.
Exactly.
I mean, because I'm in the space.
Exactly. Yep.
I try to respect people that are doing well in the space. What are they doing that I'm not doing?
Exactly.
What can I be doing more or better?
Yeah.
I think my take on this was he handled this like a pussy. Like he was scared,
He
and
was definitely scared, especially after after the response to the tribute. That's when everything went downhill. I think he really got scared of what actually could happen to his career after that response, for sure.
being defiant would have worked maybe to some degree, like I expressed it, just in being, hey, like Hogan, don't like Hogan. This was just my personal experience growing up as a kid and putting it out there like that. Where he fucked that up was with the using colored people. That's where he fucked that up. And so you can't be defiant after that, but you also don't have to make your apology to be like you're giving
into everything that people
to
are saying,
everything and
not standing on anything that you
showing like
believed
you
in.
got no balls, man. I'm sorry. And again, you might lose people, and you and I can disagree on the number of people you lose.
Mhm.
But look, now I'm a small version of this, small. So I was in radio, and I got stabbed. I had the stabbing incident, and I was defiant, and that cost me a lot being defiant. I was defiant because I was being labeled as the person who was the road rager, and I was like, what? I'll take my responsibility for this, but what about this guy? And this guy stabbed me. Remember we had the whole levels thing? Like I was fighting and he was using a knife slicing me up and I didn't realize it, right? And there was a political aspect to it that I pretty much don't talk about because most people wouldn't understand the political aspect to it. But I'll say this so you have a kind of an idea. This redneck from Tennessee that stabbed me ended up with an attorney who was the head of the Lucas County Republican Party. The head of the Lucas County Republican Party, his attorney became the same attorney that this redneck used. How did that happen? It just seems odd. And there was a feud between me and this Republican, a public feud between me and the person who was the chairman of the Lucas County Republican Party. And because he was a scam, he wasn't a real Republican. He got people there was a way to get seats and voted, and he got people to vote for him and become little voters in the different neighborhoods, represent different neighborhoods or whatever, a very low level shit. People who hadn't even voted, and it was people who were even Democrats. And I know this because I talked to people that he did that with who also knew him.
Gotcha.
And were friends with me too. They didn't dislike him like I did. So there was a political aspect, and then it ended up that I ended up getting charged. Like I said, I was told by the cops that I didn't. I give my story, like, why would I get charged? But they came after me anyways, and it hurt. It took a hit. I lost everything, but I also lost everything that even though at that time I wasn't drunk when I got in that altercation, I've shared in my story that people can find on here on the YouTube. We actually split it into 2 shows. It was so long.
It's actually as soon as you click on our profile, it's the very first video you'll see. So
okay, and that's okay, but that's what happened where I did that, but I wasn't, even though I was an alcoholic, I wasn't drunk at the time, but my alcoholism played a role in how I was behaving.
Like the reaction
at the time.
it.
My reaction, everything.
Yeah.
And I took responsibility for that. And then a month later, and that was public, 11 o'clock news, talk show host Troy Neff, financial advisor, stabbed in Perrysburg. And if you got a couple $1 million invested with me, you're concerned.
You're raising an eyebrow. You're saying, what the
And
fuck?
I think I don't even think I lost 3 people as clients.
That's impressive, actually.
Yeah. I was good at what I did, even though I was a drunk. I wasn't drunk when I was handling the money. And then a month later, the alcoholism comes out, and I got the DUI. And then that, between the stuff that happened over that month, literally, I didn't lose my business at that time, but I lost my access to the media. Because at the time I was doing TV, I was doing radio. I had an article that was in the Toledo Press on a weekly basis. So for a small city, you know, a moderate sized city.
Yeah. It's a good. It's a good size.
It's the next level down from a Cleveland, Cincinnati, Detroit. The next level of cities down is a Toledo, Fort Wayne, those kind of places. But I still felt the impact of that on a lower scale of what somebody would that's a national figure. It was a big local story that was out there. But I was able to continue on in my business and come back until I lost everything again by being an outlaw and going after somebody who owed me money. And then that's when everything else was lost. But I guess my point was I pushed on.
Yeah.
And even after I lost everything, you know what I did? I've lost everything. My business, my house. I had lost my family earlier. Everything. I pushed on. I took responsibility. I reevaluated my life. I got my shit together. I made changes to myself because it's the only thing I could change, and worked on me, focused on me, and then rebuilt another successful financial life. And, you know, that's where I am today. But I did it by moving on. Same thing I would say for Joey Swoll. To just, you know, you might want to cool it for a minute, maybe.
Take just a little break. Take a little vacation.
Or
Think
the other thing is, too, instead of talking about it, do a fucking video that you normally do. Do your normal gym video.
Ignore the situation and just keep doing what you're doing.
You apologize. You can't. You're not going to change people's minds.
No.
They
No
have
matter
their
how much you
opinion
plead,
of you. You're not going to do that. And all you can think about this. Here's what you have to remember. So he had a total of, what was it, 15?
You said 8 and 5, so 13.
8 and 5. So 13 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were people, that's the people who followed him.
Yes.
Let's double that number from 15.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And say 30 million know who he is.
Yeah.
So 15 million follow, 30 million know who he is. And I would guess a majority, there might be some from Canada. I don't know. But still, the majority of his following is going to be the U.S.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Guess what? There's over 300 motherfuckers still don't know who the fuck you are, dude. If you keep going 6 months from now, somebody's going to see you for the very first time.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And they're not even going to know about that. And if they do this, you know, it's not that important right now, is it? I like what he just did on this. I agree with what he said on this particular fitness video or
honestly,
whatever it is.
A majority of his videos have been nothing but supporting people.
Exactly.
So, like,
go back to doing that.
Yeah.
Stop doing this.
You have a very good point by that. That's a very.
And I'm just saying, no matter how big you think you are, you're still not that big, which amazes me. It amazes
actually kind of
me, dude.
Like scary almost in a way how like big someone can be, and still like a good majority of people don't know who you are.
And all you got to do is ask.
Yeah.
Ask people. I do that all the time. I ask people all the time, you know who Alex Hormozi is? Or it's like, I'm amazed. Take a series, you know, a successful series.
Yeah.
And somebody says they haven't watched it, and you're just, how could you?
Like, how the fuck did I not do
watched that?
Or like a super famous song, or like just it's weird how like certain things are just
like certain things.
Yeah,
I'm giving you my disease.
No, things just can be so popular, but in the view of the world, like there's so many people.
We have so much else going on in our lives. I'm not just competing with other podcasters putting shit out there. I'm not. I'm competing with everything you deal with in your daily life. Yeah. And why should you give me 5 fucking minutes, let alone I'm the dumbass doing long form thinking I'm the next coming to Joe Rogan and I can just talk as long as I fucking want. and that you're going to watch.
You can.
And some people are.
Now, I was
And
about to say, some people are.
Some people
yeah.
are. And I just know that from the people that talk to me privately, and again, the impact I've had on people's lives, and maybe that's what I just have to accept. That's what it is, and I do think we can still grow it. I have illusions or delusions of being even much bigger.
Yeah, I have the same delusions, Troy.
And I'm just gonna keep going with it. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna believe that. Just like wasn't there a baseball player who they had film of as a little kid, and he talked about in the video as a little kid that he was going to be an all-star or be in the home run derby. It was the home run derby, dude. The dude that won the home run derby, there's video of him as a little kid saying he was going to win the home run derby in Major League Baseball when he grew up. Think about that. That kid dreamed that dream. And here's the facts. 1 million kids maybe had that dream. And it didn't happen for them. But for one, he believed it was going to happen, and it did. But I can tell you this, that nobody has won that didn't believe at some point that they could before they did it. They had to believe they could, or they wouldn't have even been given the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's no different than Charles Barkley thought he could win an NBA championship.
He thought.
He thought he could, and he believed he could. He even thought he was better than Jordan. For a minute.
Maybe a game
He
or two.
accepted after that he wasn't the best, but until then, he thought he was good enough.
He definitely thought he was.
Yes, he
He
did.
might low key.
But you have to.
Yeah.
Whether you make it or not, and he still had a phenomenal Hall of Fame career.
I was about to say, we're not going to downplay like he wasn't a good player.
He's
he was
amazing.
I
I love him. Yeah, and I really love him on
TNT.
TNT,
Yeah.
which is done now, right?
They're still going to have it. It's just not going to be labeled under
differently,
TNT.
Yeah. But you have to believe it to have a chance. And it may happen or may not, but you got to believe that it is. And I'm just going to believe that it is. And same, I would say, I think Joey Swoll's getting bad advice from people. I think he's handled it. He's talked to too many people. Everybody's going to have a different idea. Man, you shouldn't have fucked up with the colored thing because that's 2 mistakes in a row you're throwing. You can apologize for the first one. Or not even apologize. You can make a statement like I did for the first one. And then the second one,
A little hard.
it's bad
a little harder
words.
one to
But if you are going to do it and apologize. Don't be weak. Just flat out say, I can't change your mind. I meant to say people of color, and I said colored people, and I talk a lot doing this, and it just came out that way. There was no disrespect meant whatsoever. I know it's not acceptable. Accept my apology and just move on instead of dwelling and groveling about it. That makes it look so much worse and bad. And then to basically act like you didn't know that people were educating you afterwards, that's not a term you can use. So it was not just not being educated about Hulk Hogan.
It was
You're also not educated on colored people.
And again, that was my whole point. And I will always give someone the benefit of the doubt because you never know.
Right.
I've seen some weird circumstances, but for how big he is in the influence area,
yes.
Like, come on, like you knew. Be a man about your mistakes and accept it, and we can move on. Just be sincere. I think that's the biggest thing is you got to be sincere about what you're saying.
And he should be good at being sincere.
Because that's all he fucking does.
That's his game.
Yes.
Right? Am I wrong?
Yes. I think that's why it probably rubbed me the wrong way as much as it did.
It rubbed me the wrong way.
Is because all he does, like the reason I know him is because that's what he does. He's telling people to be like.
Exactly.
I think that's the biggest reason why I kind of like.
Sure. The very first video, for sure. The very, very first video, with the Hulk Hogan, I had no issue with whatsoever.
I
None.
didn't know there was an issue
None.
until the issue came out. I was just like, oh, cool. Let's move on.
And maybe the best thing would have been to not respond to it.
I think so.
But again, I have a hard time not doing that. I have a hard time not responding. But again, I would have just responded, simply said, this is my lived experience, and not apologize and not go into this thou protest too much thing. Don't do that. Don't protest too much, but just say, I disagree. This is how I felt. This person, you don't like him. That's your choice as well.
100%.
I'm not shitting on that. And just be done with it and move on. And move on.
Yeah.
And maybe record it and not do it live.
That'd probably be a helpful
So you
tip.
could double check, right? You could double check before you post that shit.
That'd be smart, yeah.
It is different. It is different.
Much different.
It is different doing it live. Now, we treated our recordings like it was live.
Yeah.
And we haven't had to go back and do anything
out.
like that.
I'm actually
for
really
me.
surprised. We haven't not once had to go back and like cut.
That doesn't
anything
mean there wouldn't.
Other
There's
than-
something
other than
we
like a
shouldn't have had to
bathroom
do.
break. Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah. Other than like a
Maybe
bathroom
I
break,
said
but-
something,
but we left it in.
we left it in, and we don't have enough of you out there calling us on it, so it don't matter. But 10 years from now, when I'm big, somebody's gonna dig that up. My first 100 podcasts where the dude is just evil, and we're gonna cancel him.
You know, I hope you get to the point where someone's trying to cancel you.
Dude, that's what I said. Give me that hate. Bring on that Joey Swoll hate, please. Somebody hate me. That's why I wanted Joey Swoll. It goes back to I wanted Joey Swoll to everybody's at Joey Swoll. Come on, Joey. Bring it. Tell me what you think of my video, man. Post about me.
Love that.
But think about it. That's the world we live in today.
Yeah.
That's our topic for today. Joey fucking Swoll. With all the shits going on in life. You know what that is? That's American fucking privilege. That we could talk about stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
That matters
Nothing.
Nothing.
Literally nothing.
literally nothing.
We as people,
Small
like
amount.
people have made it a thing.
It's more of the reason for me it was important to talk about and do today. It was more from a cultural perspective, and to use this as that example, especially after the Sydney Sweeney ad. And yeah, there you go. That's what I got for you. All right, people. That's it. Y'all have a great weekend, right? Check out my Facebook. Check out, let's see, Instagram, TikTok. I've been doing some content, posting on TikTok. And back here, you got something you're going to be posting more?
Yeah, we have reaction videos coming
reaction
up.
videos
We
coming
got-
up,
we are
like
actually-
tomorrow maybe?
On Saturday.
Saturday?
Tomorrow Saturday, yes.
Tomorrow Saturday?
Yep. We got I'm actually going to be posting
And what about Nikki? When's Nikki going to be posted?
I actually just finishing up, so let's plan for next Sunday. Either Sunday or Friday. I need to look at some analytics first to see what would be the preferred day for upload something like that. But next week, sometime next week.
More content coming that's already in the can that we're going to share with you.
Got a
We
lot of
appreciate
content
you.
coming up for you.
And we're going to keep going 100 miles an hour. God, if you're still here at the end, God bless you. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.